What's going on, guys? I know this video is late, and this video is also going to not have as much of the b-roll or the overlaying videos or whatever you want to call it, because there has been so much going on with work. There's been a bunch of storms going on. I've tried to sell the Mustang. I've met up with a couple of guys with that, and I just don't have enough time to put all the editing work that I normally put in it. So we're going to try this and see what happens. But there were several things that went on with Farm Truck, with Dominator, with Chief, with Dave, with Sean, with several of them that I want to talk about in this video. And as always, all of the extra video that you see that is not my face talking, all of the credit goes to Tom 80 Videos. Awesome guy, awesome content is going to all of these No Prep Kings races. And if you are not subscribed to his video, there is a link on the top of the screen somewhere right now to his channel. If you have not seen it, go check it out and appreciate all of the hard work that he puts into keeping his channel current and all of the videos that he has going with the Street Outlaws. We're going to kick this video off right here. The very first thing I want to talk about on this video is the El Camino. I was really hoping we would see that car sometime during this season, but it does not look like Kamikaze is going to have that car running this season. According to his social media, he is still working on the car. He was working on a lot less to begin with than what a lot of these guys had to begin with as far as chassis and all that stuff. You know, this car was shot full of holes to be lighter. It was just had a lot more stuff to do than the rest of them. It got dark real fast and had to move you to inside the garage. That is where we're going to see him make the return of the Slut, of the El Camino, of the Elco, whatever you want to call it. Kamikaze will be back at the beginning of season 12, mark my words. The next thing I want to talk about is Daddy Dave and Ryan Martin. Well, if the show does run, you know, everything in sequence as to the way we see it, then he was having trouble with the car, because you've seen him at the track. It spit a valve all the way out through the turbos out the exhaust. Do you think that with him having to swap the motor, in theory is the same exact motor, and whether it makes 3,200 or 3,500 horsepower, that doesn't matter because you're not using that much on the street. But he did say that he put a smaller set of turbos on the car. So do you think that was the reason Daddy Dave beat him, or do you think Daddy Dave is that much faster and has the potential to go to number one? I feel like it's a combination of both. I do think Daddy Dave has a number one car as of right now. I do feel like a few more has a number one car, but I think Daddy Dave will get that number one spot before he falls off. One more thing I want to say about Ryan Martin before I move on too far. When he was sitting there and they was in the shop talking about he had taken Chief lightly a few times, and you know, that is, you know, he thinks what happens and all that stuff. Look behind Billy and them when Ryan's talking to him, and that is Ryan's Pro Mod. How many of you even knew that Ryan had a Pro Mod and raced a Pro Mod? You know, along with all of the other, you know, the Fireball Camaro that you see on TV, all of the Fireball cars that he builds, that Ford Lightning truck, the small tire 69, and the Pro Mod. You know, Ryan Martin is a drag racer 100%. You know, everybody says that, you know, he didn't deserve to be on the show and all this. Ryan Martin is a drag racer. I am going to do a video on Ryan Martin talking about how he got everything going and what he's about, who he is, and everything that he has to race, because if you just take the things you see off the show, you don't even realize what a lot of these guys are capable of and have done, what they are known for. So I want to do a video just on Ryan Martin, talking about from start to finish basically on what all he has accomplished. The next one I want to talk about right quick is Dominator and Lutz. I still feel like Lutz does not have a top 3 or 4 car, which he has been falling down
on the list, but the one I want to talk about is
Dominator is going to do better. I'm not going to say that he is going to go to number one, because I don't think I wished he would, but I don't think he will. Right now, he is the shining star of the show. He is what we are all sitting on the edge of our seats hoping goes to number one. You know, like I just said, I don't think it'll happen, but that is what we are all wanting and hoping for. He has got his shit together enough to stay in the top 5. Wait and see. Dominator is going to be the star of the show for the rest of the season. Wait and see. The next one that I want to talk about is Monza. that was the first time I think that Monza has got the chance, when he raced Doc, to turbo F someone. In the last 50 foot, them turbos hung out there and he went around Doc, as Monza would say, like he was tied to a stump. I was proud to see that happen for a couple of reasons. One, because he's going to total that car before the end of the season, and wherever he's at is going to be all he has to do because his car's coming off the list. And that also proves that he is getting a hold on the turbo setup, and he even said that he was, but you know, there's only one number one spot, one number two spot, and so on and so forth. And the saying that Chief has is, you get in where you fit in, isn't exactly true. All of these cars are so close together, it's just whoever's night it is to who's going to be in what place. That's how simple it is. The next thing I want to talk about is farm trucking agent. If you've noticed, the past couple of seasons they haven't done as much fishing as they call it, and you know, even on into season 6, 7, 8, you know, around in there, you know, anybody who races that farm truck, they can't play it off like, oh, I run up on this guy on the street and he didn't know the farm truck flies under the radar and all that stuff. If you have a fast car that you race anywhere, you have heard of the farm truck and you know what it is. They cannot play that game anymore. But I think that they could still play off, you know, they had the call-out box and stuff like that. You know, if their truck is not a list-capable truck, but they are too big of a person on the show to, you know, be like Jeremy or somebody that's not on the show anymore, but, you know, they are part of the 405 Street Outlaws show. So they're not going to kick them off. They're going to keep them something to do. Without starting a whole nother list or anything like that, there's so many people who still think they can outrun the farm truck. True street cars that think they can outrun the farm truck. And I feel like if they would bring that part back, they would still have something that was watchable on the show. And you know, that's my opinion only. I kind of like the enduro thing, but I would rather see them drag racing. You know, they got to fill what, 10, 12 minutes of the show. You can come up with a guy or two to race and fill that time on the show and still be there for Saturday night list racing. But I would like to see them do something more Street Outlaws oriented than what they have been doing. And one last thing that I want to say about the farm truck is they finally raced some out-of-town guys, which I've been waiting on for a while. But it looks like they're going to finally do it, and there's some people from Florida, I want to say, and it looks like there's some sort of argument against this complete blown pro mod saying he can outrun the farm truck, and you can see Sean pop off that that car won't outrun the farm truck on the street. But I hate to be negative, but it looks like that farm truck does get outrun, unless the guy lets off right after the little clip that it shows on the commercial. Farm truck does get outrun. But I mean, hey, you're getting outrun by a pro mod, so it's not nothing to hold your head down from. You know, we've seen Kamikaze outrun a pro mod in the Elko. It can happen, but 9 times out of 10 it's not. Alright, one more thing I want to say before I end this video and talk about some non-Street Outlaw related things is about how everybody broke, and when Monza's son Youngblood starts arguing with him about he has to race his car and he don't, whatever. Some of that's going to play in the little set down that they had at the beginning of the season about they would have a meeting at that moment, talk about that race, and make a decision right there as a group. Well, you see Chuck step up and start telling everything that's going on, which I don't think it was his room to say that, but that's my opinion. But Joe fixed his car. Joe wanted to race. Joe thought he could move up a spot, and he patched his car up enough to race. Now the rest of them, Chuck agreed to that to see the Dominator race, and then when it come time for him to race, he didn't want to tear his car up anymore. I understand that completely. I'd have probably done the same thing. He said what he had to say to get that race done. He knew that he wasn't going to race him when he said that in that meeting. But my question to you is, do you think that these new rules and stuff like that is better than the rules they had before? I think that if they get them figured out and nobody tries to pull the I'm the big chief card on them, it will be a lot better racing night for the group as a whole. But I'm cutting the Street Outlaw stuff off right here in a few days we'll have a whole new wad of stuff to talk about with out-of-town races, and I'm so stoked for that. I want to see it so bad. I do want to see some more list racing because they have kind of got me interested in it this year, but I want to see them race somebody from out of town so bad. But that is it with the Street Outlaws talk. There's a few things that I want to mention right quick, and then we're going to cut it off. Number one, like I said in the beginning of the video, Tom 80 videos. If you haven't seen him, go watch him. He is what you have been watching through the majority of this video. Thanks for everything, Tom. You have been a big help to me and my channel. Number two, I am still trying to give away this 500 bucks. I need 50,000 subscribers for this money to be given away. I hope to bring this back up, get a couple of videos out a week at least. And the last thing that I want to say is I made a video the other day about the Mustang that I have, and I'm trying to sell it. I have not sold it yet, and the car is still for sale, but there is one thing that I want to say that may give you a little more information whether you want it or not. And the car does not have a title. In the state of Alabama, which is where I live, anything 74 and older, you do not have to have a title for it. A lot of states are like that as far as you don't have to have a title, but the years are different. Like I know Georgia is 20 years or older. There's just several different states that have different rules. If you have to have a title for this car, I'm not saying you cannot get one. I'm just saying I do not have one. There's nothing wrong with the car that you couldn't get a title for. I'm just saying I don't have one to give you, to show you, for anything like that. And if you are the one that wants the car and you are really serious and you are going to have the car shipped, a pre-purchase inspection, a PPI, will be done on your behalf, because I don't want somebody to get the car and them say it is not what they thought or not what was advertised. You can have someone that you pay that will come and look at the car and tell you every little thing that is wrong with it, that is right with it, whatever, and then we'll go from there. But that will be all to your expense. I'm not paying for any of that. I will sell the car locally. I will meet anyone, anywhere local to look at the car. If you want to see the car, I am in Jacksonville, Alabama, and you can come and look at the car all you want. With that being behind us, the email address and the P.O. box is across the screen right now. Anything you have to say or anything you want to say, send it to me through the email and it will get read, 100% guaranteed. The comments sometimes get mixed up and I don't get to read them all. Anything you want me to have or promote or anything like that on this channel, send it to the P.O. box on the bottom of the screen right now, and it will get opened on air. It will be promoted, and I will appreciate it, I promise. I am considering doing a giveaway on, 50 bucks, something like that, on the best letter or the best personal item as far as a Matchbox car or anything like that that you send me. I'm thinking of giving away 50 bucks. Do the best thing along those lines. Also, one little last thing I just remembered. I am in the process of having shirts and stickers made. If you are interested in that, drop it in the comments below. Send me an email. Let me know. They are going to be this microfiber, real soft, like, wicking shirts. And they are very, very, very comfortable. The most comfortable shirts that I have ever put on. And they are going to be 100% at cost. I'm not going to make one single dime on these shirts. They will be ordered from a respectable shirt company, so I'm not going to even see any money off of it. So I just want to help somebody promote my name. Basically, there's going to be zero profit on this shirt. I just want to see them worn by someone. But if you're interested, I'm not asking for any money or anything, but if you're interested, drop it in the comments below and let me know that there is people out there who actually want them. I've got to order so many, but the logo is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be something to do with these cars, but we're looking at somewhere between 15 and 20 bucks. It's going to have American flag right here. It's going to have some stuff on the back, stuff on the front. I've got several slogans that I want to work with and see if they work with the channel. I feel like that will. I feel like there'll be some good, some funny ones, some stuff like that. But I'm cutting this video off right here. Make sure you click that bell right down here, and maybe you will get notified when my videos are uploaded. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. Godspeed. And I mean that. Godspeed. I will see you in the next video.